that time, you guys, for another Food Hack Friday. Hey guys, Kira here from 50 Shades of Mom, back with edition number 3 of Food Hack Friday. And today we're gonna do a meal hack. And it is the perfect day for this kind of meal hack because it is gross outside. Although it's 87 degrees, it is dark and gloomy and overcast with thunder and lightning and rain. And this kind of day just screams soup and sandwich to me. So we are gonna do grilled cheese and tomato soup for dinner. Now, in this book, they have some really interesting recipes for grilled cheese. So if you want to come along with me and see how I hacked some grilled cheese for dinner, come watch this video. Okay guys, so we're gonna actually do 2 recipes today just because they're both grilled cheese recipes. So instead of doing 2 separate videos for 2 different kinds of grilled cheese, we're just gonna combine them both together. So this one talks about the secret to the best grilled cheese, which oddly enough, I already do this. So I probably would have never done a video on grilled cheese just because that's a little too simple, but this is a hack that I already do. So I'm interested in sharing this hack with you. And then this is something I've never seen, but it looks so delicious. So it's called white pizza grilled cheese. And basically it's like fresh tomato and basil and mozzarella and Alfredo sauce, like all smushed inside of what would be a grilled cheese. So really it's just an Italian grilled cheese, which is right up my alley. So we're gonna go down to the counter. I'll show you the ingredients and how we're gonna hack these 2 grilled cheeses. Okay guys, so here are the ingredients that you are going to need to make these grilled cheeses. Now, if you want to do the plain old regular common grilled cheese, that's here on the left. And the key and secret ingredient, you guys, is mayo. I know it sounds crazy, but instead of butter on the outside of the bread, you use mayonnaise. Now, a lot of people don't really like mayo, but in this instance, even people who don't like mayo wouldn't mind this food hack because it physically doesn't taste like mayonnaise. It's just once it saturates into the bread, the fattiness of the mayo works very good in the grill of the pan, and it just creates an amazing moist flavor to the grilled cheese. I had never done this before. This was a bachelor trick that my husband taught me, and then it must be like a universal man code because when Paul lived here, he was like, "What do you mean you don't put mayo on your grilled cheese?" I don't know, it was all new to me, but now that I tried it, I will never go back. It's the perfect fatty consistency to give the bread a perfect toast in the pan, and it makes an amazing grilled cheese. So that's your run-in-the-mill, that's their food hack, but again, something I shared that I've done with my own grilled cheese anyway. So that's your traditional, and then here is that Italian. So basically they want you to use olive oil in the pan instead of butter or, you know, mayo on the outside of the bread. And then they tell you to do mozzarella, sliced tomato. They said do fresh basil, but now that I have the stir and paste, I probably won't ever use that. So I'm just gonna do a very light coating on the inside of the bread. And then on the other side of the bread, it says to put on some Alfredo. So I actually made Alfredo pasta for the kids for lunch. And this is that Tillamook cheese that I got in Walmart. And it was like one of those kits that you make. And I was really, really excited about it. And the cheese is really delicious for a homemade Alfredo. So I really liked that. So you're gonna smear that on the other side of the bread, and then you're just gonna press it down, almost like you were using a panini press to get a really good crisp on this grilled cheese. So I'm gonna set the camera up, and then we are gonna hack some grilled cheese. So we're going to start off by placing the mayo on the bottom 2 pieces of bread. You don't have to add any moisture to the bottom of this pan. These are those copper pans. I've done a review on these pans. I've talked about them. I'll link them below as well as the review video, but these pans are the bomb, you guys. So you're just going to put the mayo on those bottom 2, put 2 slices of cheese, and then you're going to mayo those top pieces and place them on top. Now you're gonna see once we flip these over that the brown is not perfect, and that is my fault. I was trying to be cute and time saving and putting both sandwiches in the pan at the same time. If it were just us, that would have been fine, but for professional purposes, I should have just done one at a time so we got a little bit more of an even brown. So now we are on to the Italian grilled cheese. So I added a little olive oil in that super screaming hot pan, and then I started spreading that basil on top. You guys, if I am not perfectly in frame, that's because I was trying to like keep my hand in camera and over the pan, and I was seriously burning myself. So once we spread that basil on top, I just layered the tomatoes, and then I put a handful of that mozzarella cheese on top. And then I took that other slice of bread, I did a nice coating of the Alfredo, and I placed it on top and gave it a good smush down and just waited for this to be toasty and brown on both sides. While I was waiting, I cut open the other two grilled cheeses so they didn't get too cold, so that you guys could see the consistency on the inside. So they really did come out yummy, and my husband gobbled them up like I knew he would. Now here is that other grilled cheese coming hot off the press, and you guys, I did not try it before I ended this video, but this stuff was amazing. That basil paste worked just fine, and it was like caprese on garlic bread. So good. Okay guys, so that is it for another Food Hack Friday. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I am so anxious to go and sit and try this grilled cheese while it is still hot. I know my husband is gonna dive into the mayo ones because again, that's how we eat them, but that Italian grilled cheese, I am just dying to sink my teeth into it. The basil, like pesto kind of stuff that I put on it intimidates me just a tiny bit because I think it is really meant to have fresh basil, but I was operating with what I had on hand, and I will, if it's good, I'll definitely try it again with the fresh ingredients. But the combination of like the Alfredo and the mozzarella and the tomatoes and the olive oil, I am just so anxious to try it. So thank you guys again for tuning in for our third edition of Food Hack Friday. If you guys are new, hit that subscribe button. I do Food Hack Friday once a month. For everybody else, guys, I love you so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next month for another Food Hack Friday.